Hi, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday. I hope your first day back went well yesterday. And I sent an email to your parents. It was in the newsletter, but just in case the message hasn't gotten through to you guys yet, AR is now open every day. So if you are reading a book at home or if you read a book on Epic, which is the online book platform, you guys can take an AR test on it any day. It's not just Wednesday now. So feel free to do that. Just make sure that you're not rushing through reading books just to take tests on them. Okay, make sure you're taking your time and doing it right, because I am going to be taking a look at comprehension and your AR points. So we will also be setting goals for your AR for this quarter. Now, your goals are probably going to look a lot different than they have in the past because school is looking a lot different right now. But we will set goals so that you have something to achieve. So we will work on that probably later this week or maybe next week. We're going to keep going with the BFG. So we stopped towards the end of the chapter. So if you guys remember, the blood bottler ate the snozcumber and he did not like it, and he spit it out, and Sophie was inside of that snozcumber. So the blood bottler left with saying, every night you could be galloping off, happy as a hamburger, and gobbling juicy human beings. Eating human beings is wrong and evil, the BFG said. It is guzzly and glumptious, shouted the blood bottler. And tonight, I is galloping off to Chile to swabble a few human chili beans. Is you wishing to know why I choosing Chile? I is not wishing to know anything, the BFG said, very dignified. I is choosing Chile, the blood bottler said, because I is fed up with the taste of Eskimos. It is important that I has plenty of cold eats in this scuttling hot weather, and the next coldest thing to an Eskimo is a chili bean. Human beans from Chile is very chilly. Horrible, said the BFG. You ought to be ashamed. Other giants is all saying they is wanting to gallop off to England tonight to guzzle school chillins. The blood bottler said, I is very fond indeed of English school chillers. They has a nice, inky, booky flavor. Perhaps I will change my mind and go to England with them. You is disgusting, the BFG said. And you is an insult to the giant peoples, shouted the blood bottler. You is not fit to be a giant. You is a squinky little squiddler. You is a pibbling little pitsqueak. You is a cream puff nut. With that, the horrible, blood-bottling giant strode out of the cave. The BFG ran to the cave entrance and quickly rolled the stone back into place. Sophie? He whispered. Sophie, where is you? Sophie? Sophie emerged from under the hem of the black cloak. I'm here, she said. The BFG picked her up and held her tenderly in the palm of his hand. Oh, I is so happy to be finding you all in one lump, he said. I was in his mouth, Sophie said. You was what? Cried the BFG. Sophie told him what had happened. And there, I was telling him to eat that filthum snozcumber, and you was all the time inside it, the BFG cried. Not much fun, Sophie said. Just look at you, you poor little chiddler, cried the BFG. You is covered in snozcumber and giant spit. He set about cleaning her up the best as he could. I is hating those other giants more than ever now, he said. You know what I should like? What? Sophie asked. I should like a to find a way of disappearing them, every single one. I'd be glad to help you, Sophie said. Let me see if I can't think up a way of doing it. And there's a picture on this page. So that is the BFG, and he is cleaning Sophie up from all of the snozcumber juice and the giant spit. And the next chapter is called Flopscuttle and Whiz Poppers. We probably won't get through a whole chapter, but I'll start. By now, Sophie was beginning to feel not only extremely hungry, but very thirsty as well. Had she been at home, she would have finished her breakfast long ago. Are you sure there's nothing else to eat around here except those disgusting, smelly snozcumbers? She asked. Not even a Fizzwinkle, answered the big friendly giant. In that case, may I please have a little water? She asked. Water? Said the BFG, frowning mightily. What is water? We drink it, Sophie said. What do you drink? Flopscuttle, announced the BFG. All giants is drinking Flopscuttle. Is it as nasty as your snozcumbers? Sophie asked. Nasty? Cried the BFG. Never is it nasty. Flopscuttle is sweet and jumbly. He got up from his chair and went to a second huge cupboard. He opened it and took out a glass bottle that must have been 6 feet tall. The liquid inside of it was pale green, and the bottle was half full. Here is Flopscuttle, he cried, holding the bottle up proud and high, as though it contained some rare wine. Delumptious, fizzy Flopscuttle, he shouted. He gave it a shake, and the green stuff began to fizz like mad. But look, it's fizzing the wrong way, Sophie cried. And indeed it was. The bubbles, instead of traveling upwards and bursting on the surface, were shooting downwards and bursting at the bottom. A pale green, frothy fizz was forming at the bottom of the bottle. What on earth do you mean the wrong way? Asked the BFG. Well, in our fizzy drinks, Sophie said, the bubbles always go up and burst to the top. So what you think to yourself in your head, or you can say it out loud, it doesn't matter. What drink do you think Sophie is thinking of? She said, in our fizzy drinks, the bubbles always go up and burst at the top. I'll tell you, in my head, I'm thinking of my favorite soft drink, Mountain Dew. So you might be thinking of one of your favorite soft drinks, or maybe like Sprite. Maybe if you guys ever drink Sprite, if you don't feel well, or maybe just you drink it because you like it. If you open up like a Sprite bottle, the fizz all goes to the top. Upwards is the wrong way, cried the BFG. You mustn't ever be having the bubbles going upwards. That's the most flush bunkering rubbish I has ever heard. Why do you say that? Sophie asked. You is asking me why? Cried the BFG, waving the enormous bottle around as though if he were conducting an orchestra. You is actually meaning to tell me you cannot see why it is a mistake to have the bubbles flying up instead of down? You said it was flush bunking. Now you say it's a mistake. Which is it? Sophie asked politely. Both, cried the BFG. It is a flush bunking, and it is a mistake to let the bubbles go upwards. If you can't see why, you must be as quacky as a duckhound. By Ringo, your head must be so full of frog squinkers and buzz wangles. I is frittered if I know how you can think at all. Why shouldn't the bubbles go upwards? Sophie asked. I will explain, said the BFG. But tell me first, what is you calling your Frobscottle by? One is Coke, Sophie said. Another is Pepsi, but there's a lot of them. And all the bubbles go up? The BFG asked. Yes, they all go up, Sophie said. So what do we call a Frobscottle? We call it a soft drink, or some people call it Coke or pop or soda. Okay, so he said bubbles going up is a catastrophe. Will you please tell me why? Sophie said. If you will listen carefully, I will try to explain, said the BFG. But your brain is so full of bug whiffles, I doubt you will ever understand. I'll do my best, Sophie said patiently. Okay, and we're going to stop there, leaving on a little bit of a cliffhanger. So we will find out what the BFG thinks about soft drinks or Frobscottle in his world. And we'll find that out tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great day. And tomorrow is Thursday. So I will do another read aloud tomorrow. And like I said yesterday on my read aloud, these read alouds will be up until Sunday evening. So you guys can watch them whenever you have time. And so tomorrow's Thursday, so I'll have a read aloud. And then tomorrow evening, Thursday evening, we all get to meet together on something called Zoom. So we will all be videoing on your Chromebooks, and I'll be on my Mac, and we can talk to each other. So I'm really looking forward to that and looking forward to seeing you guys. Bye.